Cat Dracula Telethon with mysterious men. A big fat watermelon cat was trying to drive the large luxury car sedan. He had many dental appointments to make. Also, he fell in love with a good Indian woman. She wanted to give him children, so they made a play date for the certificate at the local food storage shelter. The man at the marriage and food storage shelter had serious doubts about the relationship, so he gave them a citizenship test. They took the test in the European fashion, with the eyes closed, and the children were forced to hold various flags. It was decided that their union would be like France. The cat would need to be declawed, and they would never be allowed to attend church. But their marriage would be certified as kosher, and they would be provided with the standard sacks of food, some canned tomatoes, pasta, hamburger helper, and potted meat. After the test, a panel of 3 Muslim men dressed in suede pantsuits judged the white sheets, looking for any trace of blood. They found it. Dracula was talking about retarded children and walking around in small concentric circles with the daytime television fundraiser all around him. He was making small talk with the audience about the smell of lemon pledge and asking everyone to dig deep and give, promising that soon the ghost host with the most would appear magically on stage and perform Islands in the Stream, Dead, with a 3D hologram of Dolly Parton and a stage full of rotisserie chickens. Dracula was carried onto the stage by 2 strong luchadors. "Call in," he said. "I want to suck your bank account." It was much too early to give away a car, but already a catamaran and a motorcycle had found new homes. A montage of children walking around in garage sale motorcycle helmets, bumping into walls, was playing in the background. Dracula made a large rotational movement and turned into a bat, to the delight of the studio audience. He flew around the stage with a blue spotlight tracing his movements, as Stone Strangelove and the Galaxy Lounge Rangers played a stirring rendition of Moon River. After the song, Dracula returned to human form and gave a sincere thank you to the Johnson Wax Company, ending with, "You know, folks, they're a family company." The cat and the Indian woman were pronounced as eminently marriage-ready by the goalkeeper and ordained clerk at the food storage shelter. He gave $5 to the Muslim men, and they held the money in a painted mason jar while talking about coffee and maths. The money in the mason jar was sent by FedEx to Indiana, where it was processed into a vellum marriage certificate and sent to the cat's last known mailing address. It was then delivered by a claim server dressed as a pizza delivery man. The deed was done. They were married, much to the surprise of the forgetful cat. Time stopped for a while. No one knew what happened. It was kind of weird, but people never really thought about it or talked about it. It was just one of those things. Then Boomer, the watermelon cat, was again trying to drive the car. He had only a vague understanding of the mechanical forces at work, and plunged dangerously up and down roads outside the dirty window children, compared the heights of their fiberglass flagpoles affixed the back wheel, right next to the safety brake. The little metal bracket especially made for attaching the white glass pole had been manufactured in New Jersey, and this gave the cat a new idea. Instantly, he remembered Dr. Teeth, and his greedy little cat brain began to spin. A noise was heard in the front seat. The Indian woman smiled and uncovered some rice for the kitty. The electronic climate control system kept the cabin at a steady 71 degrees. And softly, yet non-delicately, the kitty devoured the rice and purred for the sweet milk lassie. She gave it to him slowly. Dipping that tongue in the sweet milk, Lassie satisfied some internal urge for both of them. It was then that the Indian woman laughed, her mind glowing with the shades of all the spices, foreign and domestic. As Boomer's eyes widened until we followed a path into the expanding sunset of spice radiating towards him, slowly expanding as the camera pulled back into shallow bird-like glide path into the curry sky. The soft sound of the AC blew on by. It's music from the golden age of beautiful music, free from words and simplified into a cohesive instrumental landscape swallowing the two of them into the glowing light of pure carrier wave logic. Vishna undressed on the red velour voluptuous seats and began purring like she was a kitty cat. The cat was not amused, but he tolerated this sort of behavior because Vishna was the best damn dental assistant the world had ever seen. She had risen to prominence on the Indian subcontinent via Dance Dance Dentist, a romantic comedy about a roving dentist and his lovely assistant. This was Vishna Doll. And with her smile, Boomer could sell anything. Boomer was a cat. One hell of a good dental equipment salesperson. It was something he was passionate about, even though it was a cover for what he was really up to as a top-secret poet laureate. He wanted to free the world from the bonds of depression with his poetry. He had not yet written anything, but he felt he would accomplish this. It's what fueled him. That and a desire for power, money, and sleep. Dracula had begun hours earlier, exactly as foretold by TV Guide, promptly at midnight, raising money on his 14th annual telethon for diseased and socially retarded children. It was going well. So well that even people who hated children were pledging money. One man called up and said so. The show consisted of non-stop vaudevillian antics, and even now was broadcasting live. The sounds of old Drac himself were spilling out of the 6x9 dual-voice car speakers bought at discount from the Crutchfield catalog. The hip Muslim men were unknowingly praying towards the 900-foot-tall mechanical Michael Jackson statue that had been built in the desert. His robot eyes were helium neon lasers and made an incredible green display against the dark desert night as they scanned the horizon for rodents and flying creatures. As they lazed across the dark desert, they ignited those unlucky animals in a blaze of fire and green dalliance. The city in the distance gambled, dialed in to give money, to give a little time, a little brain time, top-of-mind awareness, that sort of thing. Dracula made a dramatic movement and swung wide to introduce the Mothman and his story of inspiration for children living with non-communicable diseases of all kinds. The Mothman talked about life being like a little train, slowly chugging up that big hill of life. The Mothman sauntered onto the center of the stage and gracefully took the mic from its chrome stand, and then brought down the house as he tore into a haunted remake of Murray Head's inspirational treatise on the madness of international chess world, One Night in Bangkok. The crowd was digging it to the point of hysteria, and out there in the dark night, so was a raving, axe-murdering linguist named Tate Lingham Flanahan. Tate volunteered at the local food storage shelter and taught success at life classes late at night. All of the volunteers at the shelter taught success in life classes late at night. They all had dreams of making big fat spirit money in the burgeoning self-publishing business. They had all found out about a secret called the power of positive desperation. Yes, desperation was the key to many industries. Dracula himself made a handsome fortune selling diet pills of the homeopathic variety. That was all before the fallout with Dr. Frankenstein and his anorexic monster. Before the tabloids had torn him a new one, before he underwent hair restoration therapy and remade himself as the popular entertainer he is today. He was now glowing on television, giving away a new dinette set and 100 yards of premium carpet to the next $1,000 donor. A man, dressed in a costume looking like a live, living can of Lemon Pledge furniture polish, was performing the Candyman, trying his hardest to impersonate Sammy Davis Jr. right down to the glass eye and black face makeup on his little face. He sang divinely and was assisted by the added comedy of 3 Frank Sinatra midgets kicking him in the shins. This was making everybody howl with laughter. Even though lemon-scented steam was spraying out of the man's sprayer head, no one was thinking about furniture polish. If anything, they were thinking of soft shoe and show business. It was a ragamuffin performance for sure, but it was also raising money, lots of money. And Dracula loved it. He kept thinking, screw you, Dr. Frankenstein. Who do the children love now? Me. The Muslim men rose to their feet and spoke briefly about the bloody sheets. Their laughter was contagious, and each of them made the other one laugh. It was a really good time. They sat around for a while talking about Time Life collectible book series from the 1970s, the kind they collected in their youth. They talked about collectible coffee mugs and then celebrated by making some strong coffee and turning on the television to catch the telethon. They were all hoping to see the rumored return of the unknown comic. In the dark corner of the food storage shelter, a droid sentinel was activated by radio control by mysterious men operating under the water. Somewhere, people were drinking Perrier and talking about wooden tennis rackets. Boomer wheeled the Royal Brougham sedan into the tight lines and cramped spaces of Dr. Teeth. Dr. Teeth was the largest dentist in the Bay Area, 350 pounds of dentist, and one hell of a good businessman. He was the first dentist to make the connection between nitrous oxide, teeth, colloidal silver, orgone accumulation, and hypnotic past life regression dental therapy. His key insight had been realizing that the relaxation techniques of airing out teeth, as he called it, and pharmaceutical past life psychotherapy sessions could make him rich, and had made him fat beyond the pale. Dr. Teeth was the fastest growing dental franchise in North America, why Vishna and Boomer had tried so hard to drive their full-size sedan to his office. The cat was unable to stop the car, understandably. He properly crashed it gently into the wooden ramp and staircase, just as the Mothman turned to remind the audience to give until it hurts, because it hurts until you give. This caused Dracula to applaud as well. Drac made his way on stage imitating Ed Sullivan with his hands high on his hips and a happy, smug look on his pale face. Vishna and Boomer darted inside as their car hissed and popped. The oldest and strangest of the three mysterious Muslim men picked up the telephone and began to dial. Will Boomer and Vishna make the sale? Will Dr. Teeth honor competitors' coupons? Will the Muslim men order a pizza? Find out all this and more in the next episode of Cat Dracula Telethon with Mysterious Men.